Hi, welcome to Zim Programmer channel. Today we are going to focus on the development or on the design of the parent form of our point of sale system. So I designed this form. So we are going to design a new form which looks exactly like this. We have the menu here, right, where you can create a new account and you can go back. You can change the admin password. You can go back. You can do some sort of transactions here. You can go to inventory. You can edit inventory right here. You can see, you can scan the product by the barcode from here, and then you can see the details of that product right here. And from there you can excuse me, from there you can move on to view inventory like this, and you can see the inventory from our database. Right now we don't have any inventory entered in our system, so that's it. And from there you can go back to the home page by clicking home, and you can click on calculator so that you can be taken to this calculator. And from then you can go to the settings. This is the system settings, where you can navigate and see the settings of your system right there. So if you want to change the permissions, you can go to the permissions and change the permissions from here. So that's it. Let's go ahead and design a form which looks exactly like this, and then I can show you also this barcode. Excuse me, this barcode form. You can put your text right here and then code it to a barcode, right, and the barcode will pop up right here, and you will save it or print it. So that's it. So this is what we are going to design. So let's go ahead and first of all put all these things in place. So let's close this, and before closing you can see we have this clock right here, and we're going to put all this together. So let's go ahead and do that exactly. So let's close this one. Instead of closing, let's just minimize so that you can keep on referring. So you can go to our project right here, and from our project we want to design this as a parent form. So this is the parent form, but before proceeding with the design, you have to install some extension or some libraries uh, from these NuGet packages. So you have to go to the Solution Explorer, right click on the project, and then manage NuGet packages. And from the manage NuGet packages, you have to type in or to search for font awesome .sharp, this library. You have to search for it, and you have to install it. So you have to click on it, and if you haven't installed it, it will give you a button on the right panel which will say install. But as you can see, I have already installed it, so there's no need to install it again. So I will simply close this. But if you haven't installed, please install this package for you to be able to follow this tutorial. So let's go ahead and close this NuGet package right here, right? And after closing it, you can proceed to our toolbox. And we want to check if some controls from the NuGet package of font awesome library has been added right here. So you can go to the toolbox and search for an icon button and an icon picture box. Alright, these are the controls which we are going to deal with on the design. So let's go ahead and look. You can see these were already added on our toolbox. So if not added, you just have to right click here on the toolbox and select choose items, and on these choose items it will give you another window which will pop up. Alright, and this window is pop up. It will load some items, the .NET framework components, and after loading it, you can see we are good to go. So I'll pause the video and then I'll come back when it finishes loading. Alright, it's still loading. And after loading this, you can then add this icon picture box and icon button to the toolbox in the following way. So you just have to follow what I'm doing right here for you to be able to add this. So you can see this will be the window which will come after the loading of the components. And what you have to simply do is to simply browse, click this browse button here, and after clicking it, it will take you to the open file dialog box, right like this. And in the open file dialog box, what you have to do, since you have installed the font awesome library, you have to navigate to where your project is. Right, like my project was is saved in documents and in Visual Studio 2013 and under projects, and the name of my project is YouTube point of sale, right like this. So after double clicking it, you have to go to the packages inside that your source folder, right? Double click it and you go to the font also, double click it and go to the slab, double click it, and you can choose from any of these libraries. You can open any folder and you can edit to, like if you double click, you can find this DLL, the font awesome the direct link library, and if you click it, you've selected it, and if you click this open, it will add this library to your toolbox. So if you go ahead and click OK, as for me, I've added this, so I'm not going to click this open, but I'm going to click the cancel. But you have to click this open, so I'm going to cancel this. And after canceling it, you can see from here what you simply have to do. You have to click the OK button, and this OK button will apply your changes. And after doing this, you can go ahead and search for the icon picture box and the icon button from this toolbox, and you will find them added, right? So these are the simplest steps to start with. So let's go ahead and have a look again on our design. What we have to do right here, we have these three panels. The first panel contains these buttons and also the labels for the user who is logged in, and this is the first panel. The second panel consists of the menu, and the third panel consists of buttons and some label which has a date and time. So that's it. You can see I have three panels, this one, and the last one on top right there. So we're going to do exactly what is on this. So let's go ahead and minimize this, and let's go to our form and select the form, go to the properties. We want to change the properties of this form, right? The form border style right here, we want to put it to none. Right, after putting it to none, we have to pick a panel from the toolbox. So let's pick a panel from the toolbox and we place it right there and set the properties of that panel. Let's set the dog property to fill like this, and after setting the dog property to fill, let's pick another panel again. Right, let's pick another panel and place it right there, and the dog property, let's put it to top, and we want to change the color so that the color will look exactly like the color right here on our form. So the color code is simply go to the property and change the back color to this color which I'm putting 62 and 62 and 66. So this is the color. Let's copy it and you will use it for another panel. Right, let's go ahead and pick another panel again. All right, and we place it right there, and then paste the background color on the back color right here, and change the dog property to top like this. All right, this is the second panel, and let's place the third panel. All right, so pick the third panel and just paste the background color again right there, and from there you can set the dog property to top like this. So this is all you have to add on these panels. So let's go ahead and add this icon. We want to add this icon right on the left. It will not look exactly as this icon, but I will put something similar to this. So let's go ahead and minimize here, and to show that icon, you have to show it in an icon picture box from the font awesome library. So then you have to type icon and pick this icon picture box, and after picking the icon picture box, excuse me a little bit, there's an error right there. Alright, so I think the problem has been solved. Alright, the problem was these were not added, so I had to redo the heading. Right click and choose items, and then browse to the direct link library as I have explained before. So that was the process which was causing an error. So I have repeated it so that it can add these two components to the form or to my toolbox. So that's it. Let's go ahead and close this one and proceed with what we were doing right there. So let's go ahead and type the icon, and we want to put an icon picture box right here. So we'll place it in this form, in this panel, and the first panel, right, and resize it. So let's drag it to the far left of our panel. So let's go ahead and change. We want to change the icon which will appear here. This font awesome library will help you to change the icons which will be visible in this picture box and even in the icon button. So right, let's go ahead and change this icon. So to change this icon, you have to go to the icon chart right here and select it, the drop down menu, and it will give you something like this. But to navigate through this, it will be a little bit difficult. Why? Because the icons will be too much, or too many. So another option is to use right here. If you click the initial of your icon, it will change navigating through the icons, so you can see when I'm doing something like this. If you can look here, the icon is changing also, so you can go ahead and keep doing something like this until you find the icon you want. But if you don't know the icon which you have to use, you can go and open your browser and search for the icon which you want to use right there. So for myself, I'm going to use chat bar, and so to change this easily, I will show you how you can change this easily instead of using much of your time right here. So firstly, let's change the icon color so that it can be visible whenever we change it. Alright, let's go ahead and pick another color, a better one from here. Let's put something like this. Right, I think it's it's a little bit visible more than what you were looking at. So let's go ahead and change this. So to change this, go to the solution explorer and go to the parent form right here, and click on this, and then click again on the arrow and go to the initialize component right here, double click it, and after double clicking it, what we want to do right here, let me enlarge this so that you can see. What you have to do is to navigate to an icon picture box. So we know that our icon picture box its name is icon picture box 1. So this is what we are looking for. And what do we want to change? We want to change the icon char of that. So this is the property which we want to change. So the icon char of this, we want to use the chat bar. So we have to see the dot and say chat bar like this. So that's it. So if you go ahead and look from the parent design, you can see this icon right here. So that's it. This is simply the design of what we call this icon picture box. This is how you can add, how you can remove, or how you can change the icon. So from there, we want to move on and want to put this title. As you are looking at this, we have this title: Swift Packaging Inventory Management and Point of Sale Software. So we have to add this title right here. So we just pick a label, and place it right there, right, drag it like this, then change the font size of this label. We want to change it to something like something bigger than this. So we'll use Tahoma as our font, and from Tahoma we are going to select the font size of 11 and click OK. Right, after clicking OK, you have to change the font color of this to control light or something better which can be visible. So we have to change this text from label 1, and let's put something like point of sale in VB.net. Right, like this. This is our the title of our system right there. So after putting this title, what else do we have to do? We have to put these closing buttons. We will add this label later. So let's go ahead and add these buttons right there. So let's go ahead and put something like this. Let's pick icon button. Remember, these are the buttons. So let's choose this icon button, and after choosing this icon button, what do we have to change is the icon color of this button to, let's say, white. And after choosing this, we have to we have to change the flat appearance of our button. So let's go ahead and flat appearance, let's put the radius of 0, and let's go ahead and select this drop down of the flat style to flat like this. So from there, what we have to do is to remove the text of that button. So go ahead and delete this text, and from there, let's go ahead and change the icon for this button. So I have said to change it easily, you have to go to this initialize component, and as you can see, this is already there right here. So let's navigate to icon button. Right, you can see we have this icon button 1. That's the name of our icon button. So let's go ahead and change the icon char right here, icon char to that window close. Right, so after doing this, if you can go back, you can see we have this button, but the icon is too big. So let's go ahead and resize this icon to something like 25, so that you can see it. Right, you can see we have this button right here. So let's resize it. Okay, or let's try to enlarge this icon again to something like 30, so that it can be visible. Right, I think that's much better. Let's go ahead and copy this button and paste it paste it again. So after doing this, let's drag this to right here, and let's drag this to right here. Right, we want to put the icon characters of these two buttons. So remember, this icon button 3, this icon button 2. So let's go ahead with the designer view or initialize component and navigate to icon button 3. We know that for icon button 2, we want to change this from window close to window restore like this. And we want to change this. Why we have put this window restore? Because we have set our form property to something like maximized when it initially runs, so it will be showing something like this, so that it will be giving a signal for you to minimize the form, or to return to the normal size of the form. So this is restoring the size of the form, right? And from there, we are going to change the icon button 3, this icon char. We are going to change it from Windows close to window minimize like this, right? So that's it. I think the wrong spelling right there. Right, yeah, I think we're done. So let's go back to the design. You can see something different right here. So that's it. This is how we have designed this form right now. So from there, what we have to do is we have to change the properties of this icon button. Let's try to move it a little bit upwards. So let's go ahead and say image relationship, what blah blah blah. Let's try to change it from here instead of overlaying. Let's say image above text, but we don't have any text right here. So let's leave it as it is. So let's go ahead and change the names of this button. So I will pin this and change the name for this button to close button like this, and I will change the name of this button to the next button. It will be minimize button, something like this, and not minimize but restore, right, something like this. And we're going to move to this as minimize button like this. So that's it. So this is the initial design of this top form. Alright, from there, what we have to do right now is we have to go ahead and we have to go ahead and have a look on what's coming next. So we can see that this menu is coming next. So let's go ahead and minimize this so that we can pick the main strip from here. Let's unpin this properties. Let's pick the main strip from here. So we have this main strip, right? Let's place it in this second panel, and from there you can see that we have this as our first menu. Let's go ahead and add this administration right here. So let's go ahead and put the administration right there, right? Let's type administration, right? But from that administration, what we have to do is to put exactly what is on the administration. So we have add new, manage administrators, create a new account, right? So add new here, manage administrators, right here, administrators, and right next here we have to create account like this. And from the create account, what else do we have? We have the change admin password and user registration. So we have to say change admin password right here, admin password, and user registration. And from there, what else? What's left right here is manage users and facilitate password change. So I'm going to say manage users and facilitate password change. Alright, this is the design. Let's go ahead and move to the next menu. What is on that next menu? We have a transaction menu. This is the transaction menu where we have day end transaction menu. We have day end sales return. So let's minimize and put this as transactions, and we have the day end and sales. We have the sales returns, and what else do we have right here? We have credit sales and cashier total sales, credit sales and cashier total sales. Right here is cashier total sales. Right from there, let's move on. What else do we have? We have cash up and reprint last transaction, right? So we have to say cash up and reprint last transaction like this, and we have to put something like from there transaction log and sales. Alright, we have to say transaction log and then sales here. That's it. So from there, let's move on to the next, which is inventory. Alright, this inventory, what do we have on inventory? We have new inventory, edit inventory, update prices, update quantity, add new inventory, edit inventory, and we have update price and update quantities. Alright, and from there we have to view inventory. Right, that's it. So let's go ahead and type here view inventory. Right, that's it. So this is third menu. Let's go ahead and put another menu right here. What to this menu, blah blah blah. Right, let's leave this 3 for the meantime. So that's it. So this is for the menu, and let's go ahead and try to change this menu. For the meantime, let's leave it as it is right now, and you can drag this up like this. So from there, what do we have to move on to? We have to move on to these buttons, excuse me, right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. So for these buttons, we're going to use the icon buttons from the font or some. So let's go ahead and pick the icon button, right, and place it right here. 1, right, let's copy it and paste it. 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. So let's go ahead and drag these buttons right on their places, right, like this. 3, then 4, 5. So that's it. So we've put all these buttons in place. So let's go ahead and make the size of these buttons a little bit larger. And for this button, I will write the text as home. And for this button, I will write the text as reports. And for this button, what else is there? The calculator, settings, and barcode, right? So we're going to say calculator, this will be settings, right here we're going to say a barcode. Alright, so that's it. So for the home, the icon will be what? Let's go ahead and have a look at the home. What will be the icon? Let's go, this is icon button 1, so let's go to the designer and try to put an icon right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and navigate to icon button 1. You can see we have none. Let's try to put something like a home. Do we have something like that? Yes, we have something called home. And from there, what do we have to show from the reports? Let me use that bar again. So I'm going to use the chat bar right here. Chat bar. Alright, so that's it for reports. And for settings, for calculator, I have to put something like a calculator, right? Calculator, right? And for this is for settings. Settings, what do we have to put for settings? Let's try to see if we have something like settings. Something like tools, maybe it will be settings. Let's go ahead and see if these tools are what you are expecting exactly. That's it. So for barcode, we are going to set for barcode. Then for barcode, this is barcode. Let's go ahead and put a barcode right here. Alright, that's it. So this is all about the icons right there. So let's go ahead and change the size of these icons. Alright, let's go ahead and change the size of icons. You can see all the icons have the same size, so we have to put something like 30. 30 is a little bit small. Let's put 35. Like this, let's put 35. Right, and after 35, let's try to change the text image relations. Instead of overlay, let's say image above text, it will be something like this, right? So that's it. So what we have to do right now is to go ahead and change these icons to whatever we want. So before doing that, let's change the flat style for this and to set it to a flat, and let's go ahead and change the flat appearance and border size. Let's put it to 0 so that it will be a flat button, and change the icon color for this one. Let's go ahead and pick a color, a better color like purple. Where to pick it from? Down here. Alright, let's try to choose this. It's not that good. It's not that good again. So let's go ahead and find a color, a better color for this. Indigo. It's from red to west. So let's go ahead and try to find orange red. Where to find orange red? Right here. Dark orange, orange red. So that's it. Let's leave it like this, and we try to change the fore color of this. Instead of typing this, let's type white. Alright, as you can see, and change the font size to something which is visible. Alright, so change the font size to Tahoma, and this Tahoma should be, let's put it to 10. Alright, you can see, and from there let's try to change barcode to blue. Excuse me, that's not it. So let's change the color, the icon color, the fore color. Let's change the icon color of this to, instead of black, let's choose another color, another better color. If you choose something like this, it will be a little bit better. Let's go ahead and choose something. What is the color right here? It's white and white, something like a gray right there. So let's put a white here. Alright, and again let's put something like the same like what we've put Gainsborough, and let's put something like this, what we call a little bit light gray, that's it, silver, right? Yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and change the name of the button. Instead of icon button 1, let's go ahead and say it's home button, like this, and change this to report button, and the report button, and from there let's go ahead and change it to calculator button, calculator button, and from there let's go ahead and type settings button, and then lastly we want to set this to what we call a barcode button. Alright, that's it for these buttons. So we're done with these buttons. Let's go ahead and place something like this clock right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick an icon picture box. Alright, so pick icon picture box from here and place it somewhere here. Alright, so after placing it, let's resize it to a little bit bigger size. Right, from there let's go ahead and change this icon picture box icon. Right, icon picture box 2, this is the icon picture box which you want, and you want to put a clock right here. So it's icon chart clock, right? That's it. So we have changed the icon for this, and if you can look, you can see the icon has changed, and you want to change the size, icon size. I want to put it something like 60, and the icon color I want to put something like this Y. Alright, that's it. So that's it. Then we want to change this icon to appear a little bit. Alright, image, we want an image location. That's not what we want. Alright, blah blah. Okay, let's go ahead and simply resize it, and instead of background image tile, let's put to center screen. So let's center it, let's stretch it. What I'm trying to do here is something else. Right, that's it. So let's go ahead and send it, and from there what we have to do is to just move on with our design as we are intended to do. Right, from there, this is our clock, and as you can see, we want to put date right there. So it's simply a label which will be right there. Let's put a label right here, and let's put another label and put it right here, and change the font color to white. Right, and for this one, let's change the font size to something a little bit bigger. Let's say Tahoma, and select this Tahoma, and something like 12. Alright, this is for the date, and for this time we want to select the font size again, and the font size will be something like Tahoma, and we want to put it to 10 like this. So that's it. So this is all about this design right there. So let's go ahead and pick a timer for this. So let's go ahead and pick a timer from the toolbox, right, timer, and drag the timer to our form like this. So let's go ahead to the timer and double click it. What you want to do is to set the timer to this label. So it's label 2. So let's go to the parent form. We've double clicked it, and what we want to do is to say label 2 text is assigned to now dot date dot to let's put to long date string like this. Let's write this, and this we want to put it to now label 3 dot text is assigned to now dot to long term string, right, something like this. So we are trying to display this time. So let's go ahead and double click. Let's select the form, this parent form, and if select, right click, then select parent form and go to the properties and go to the event, and on this load double click it and want to start the timer. So I'm going to say timer 1 dot start. Right, that's it. So from there, I think this is the design. So for the design, I think we are done for this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and test what will be right there. So before testing, we want our form to close. So when this button is clicked, let's double click this button and put the form closing code right here. And what we want to do is to ask or to prompt the user to answer using the dialog box or the message box if he wants to close. So I'm going to say if message box dot show something like confirm confirm exit, and right here the heading of this will exit system, right, and we're going to say yes or no, right, like this, and we're going to say the message box icon, then YouTube question, message box icon of question, and then set the result is equal to dialog result.ts, right, like this. Then what do you want to do? Want to close, so you can say me.close, or instead of saying me.close, want to exit this application, so you can say application.exit, like that, right, or else nothing is going to happen, right, that's it. So this is all about closing, and about this maximize button, what you want to do is double click and use the condition right here. If me dot window state this is checking if the window is maximized or is it normal, is called to Windows form, where is it, Windows 30, not Windows form, Windows 30, like this, dot, excuse me, it's taking time to type right here, go to window, dot maximized, right, like this. This is the code which you want from Windows 8 maximize. Then what do you want to do? Want to change the icon car, so we can say restore button dot icon char is assigned to window font awesome window. Instead, if it's maximized, we want to show the restore, right, like this, and else if it's not maximized, we know that it's on normal. What we want to show is the right, we want to show the maximize button, right, like this, maximize window, maximize, like this, right, And if it's maximized, what do you want to do? You want to minimize it, so it will be the vice versa. You want to put this code, line of code, cut it from there and place it right here, and cut it here, this line from here, and paste it right here, right above here, right. And we want to change the window state, so we can say me.window state equal to window state normal, right. So want to say if this button is clicked and if the window state is maximized, and we want to change it to normal, and the vice versa, copy this and paste it right here. If it's normal, we want to maximize it, right like this. That's it. So let's go ahead and put the code for this minimize button. What we have to simply do is to paste the code from there and say window state equal to minimized like this. That's it. So this is all you have to do. So for us to test if this is working right now, let's run this application from here and watch the space. Alright, you can see we've executed this. So let's go ahead and put our password. Remember, we used this admin as our username and 12345 is our password. And if we log in like this, let's go ahead and have a look on our parent form. So if we clicked this login right now, so let's watch the space right now. The execution is taking time, so you can see we are taken to this form, and you can see we have our time here, we have our buttons, but they are not aligned on the far right. So let's go ahead and click something like this. You can see the form is changed, and this icon is changing, this icon is changing, this icon is changing. That's it. So let's go ahead and close this, confirm exit. Yes, right, it has exited the application. So let's go ahead and place these icons in place right away. That's it. So let's go to the design, this parent form designer, the design view, right. And let's just keep this to top right, the anchor property of this top right. So let's go ahead to the properties and change the anchor properties to top right, right. Let's go ahead and change the anchor property. This is the anchor property. Instead of top left, let's remove this and place it to the right, and also these two, let's place them to the right, so that it can be simply easy, and it will be exactly as you have seen on that previous form which was designed. So that's it. Let's put right there instead of wasting much time, and let's go ahead and execute it again so that you can have a look on the output, right. Alright, you can see it is executed. So this is our login form right here. Let's go ahead and put admin and 12345. This is our login. Let's log in, right. And after logging in, you can see we are taken to this form, and it is looking exactly as the previous one. If you click here, you can see this menu, you can see this menu, you can see this menu. So this is simply the design which you have to do when you want to follow this tutorial. That's it. So let's go ahead and close it so that you can have some time to see. So go ahead and try to implement this. And if you have any problems, just let me know in the comment box below so that I can help you. This is all about the design which we have to do right now. So the next tutorial we are going to show the things which you have to do right from there so that you can be able to implement at the next stages of this tutorial. So this is all for this tutorial. If you are new, please subscribe to Zen Programmer channel so that you can be alerted for new videos. This is all. Bye.